and burn.
Hey everybody, so tonight I am going to be discussing Sleater-Kinney's new one, and that is 2024's Little Rope. Now, overall, I've never really been that into Sleater-Kinney. I knew this one chick in high school particularly who was absolutely obsessed with Laura's song, and Real Man. I think that's off their first record. A Real Man is awesome, and Laura's song's cool, but Jesus, she was like worshipped at that song. Like, I'm telling you, that song was like religion to her at this point. So I've always had a lot of respect for Sleater-Kinney, but I just never really got into them. And then back in 2005, somehow I found my way around to hearing The Woods, and that record is like heavy as fuck. And I love The Fox is on there, and Entertain is on there. And that was like the heaviest thing they'd ever done. And then all of the records that had come out afterwards, they were back to a more like the Sleater-Kinney sound, where they were still experimenting. They were still willing to try new things. Like, I know they had a St. Vincent produce a record, if memory serves, but it seemed like The Woods was going to be the one-off heavy record, mega heavy record that they made. And then I started hearing the singles for this record here, Little Rope. And the singles the first single was Hell, if memory serves. And Hell was massive. And it reminded me of The Woods. But there was something more golden about this record. It's like, there's something gold about this album. I keep saying the color gold for some reason. I don't know why. I don't understand why this record seems golden to me, but it does. I love the artwork. I love how it's like, there's this sort of, I know there's no way this was intentional, but it sort of feels kind of satanic, actually. The cover art's a little demonic looking. And I love that. And this record, the subject matter is so dark. And I know that Carrie's mom and stepfather were killed in Italy a little ways back. And even though the majority of the record had already been recorded, or written at least, they decided to go back and rework a lot of the lyrics in order to work in the grief that Carrie was obviously having to process as the result of losing her mom and her stepdad. And so this record does have this sort of, I don't want to say like a funeral vibe to it, but it does sort of have a dirge quality at times. And it is so remarkably catchy, though. It is this record is so deep and this record is so dark, but it's so awesome, and the riffs are so crushing. And it's like, Hell is like, my favorite songs on here are Untidy Creatures. Jesus Christ, what a way to end the record. Untidy Creatures, Small Finds, Don't Feel Right, Six Mistakes, Dress Yourself, Hell. I don't know. I mean, Untidy Creatures is like an absolutely crushing way to close out this record. And it just, I don't know, it's just part grunge, part pop. It's sort of like a throwback to their past at times too. But it just sort of ups everything. Like, they just sort of like, they're doubling down on the heaviness that they sort of first found way back with The Woods. And they just made a record that is even heavier sounding. And I mean, I love this album. This record is amazing. This record is perfect. And you know what? That's actually, I think, where I'm going to leave it. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for however long it's been while I discussed Sleater-Kinney's new one, and that is 2024's Little Rope. I almost choked there. My apologies. Like always, if you like this review or you like this record, don't forget to do something nice for somebody. But please don't forget that you fucking kick ass and never give up, because whatever it is will get better. And I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good night.